Good Day Chicago at 7 starts now.
Cold settling into Chicagoland. We're talking dangerous temps. Mike is tracking just how low they will go.
And a monster storm could cripple a third of the country with layers of ice and heavy snow. We're following its path.
Plus, President Trump snubs one of America's closest allies as he builds out his board of peace. We'll talk about what led up to him revoking Canada's invitation. And we thank you for joining us here on Good Day Chicago at 7 o'clock. Happy Friday morning. And it is a cold Friday morning as we take a look over the band shell there at Millennium Park. I wouldn't want to touch that or do the, who's the kid in Christmas Story who puts his tongue on the...
Ralphie?
Yeah, not Ralphie,
no,
his buddy.
It's Buddy.
Schwartz,
Buddy.
maybe?
Yeah. Oh,
Flick. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's too cold out there.
Good pull there. Yeah, no, definitely not the day to do that. We have that extreme cold warning in effect for pretty much all the Illinois counties in our viewing area. That'll be in effect for another 5 hours. And then a cold weather advisory will continue until noon tomorrow. So this is a long stretch of really just obnoxious cold weather out there. And we have snow on the way. I'm going to show you the 7-day forecast. Our high happened already today. It was 5. Right now it's 9 below 0 at O'Hare. Tomorrow we'll hit 10, but take a look at this. We have snow on the way. Little bit of snow tomorrow. Then I think we get several inches of accumulation here on Sunday. We'll fine-tune the exact location of that, but I think all of us are going to be doing a little bit of shoveling in extremely cold conditions. On Monday, there will be some lake effect snow for you in Northwest Indiana, like you're seeing now. It's not necessarily lake effect, but some of you in Northwest Indiana are seeing a snow shower. And then temperatures just stay colder than normal right on through next week. January is here to stay, apparently, with cold and snow. The worst of the cold, though, for about the next 5 hours. All right, let's get it over to Anthony Crash Ponce. Hopefully you don't have anything out there to report like that.
Nothing like that today, fortunately, Mike, that we have heard about. If you can, I'm going to steal Natalie's line. If you can get your car started today, you should be in good shape as we take a look at our travel times. Hopefully, all these school closures means less cars on the road. Everything in the green right there throughout the major expressways. No major accidents we're seeing. In terms of the metro, though, you do need to be aware that they are running on kind of a different schedule, a reduced schedule due to this severe cold weather. So you are going to want to check the status of that train on the app before you actually stand out on the platform itself. I do want to mention specifically that the Union Pacific Northwest line that's inbound is operating 15 to 20 minutes behind schedule due to some operational issues. So heads up there, no major service alerts so far this morning along the L. All right, with these extreme temperatures, AAA is expecting an uptick in roadside assistance calls today.
And Roseanne is live at their Fleet Garage in River West with some tips to avoid joining that stranded automobile club. Roseanne?
Oh, nobody wants to be there, not today, on the side of the road in this bitter cold. So we are now starting to see the trucks begin to leave from the Fleet Garage. But we have one driver who is going to talk with us. This is Manny Rodriguez, and you're a service provider with AAA. Thank you for talking to us. So tell me what kind of calls you're going to get.
Honestly, we're looking at a lot of battery jump starts today, tire service, lockouts, fuel ups, and if all else fails, we'll just tow the vehicle for you.
Right, and I imagine for some of these calls when you arrive, people are probably, a little frustrated that this happened to them.
Certainly are, yeah, and we're just there to make it a lot smoother and save the day for them.
And the majority of these calls are going to end in a tow, you say?
Mostly end in a tow, yeah.
All right. So I guess it would be a really good idea for everybody, if they haven't gone to the gas station yet, if they're low on gas, they should probably fill up their tank now because they might be waiting. You guys are going to be pretty busy, right?
We're going to be super busy today, so just make sure your AAA memberships are active and give us a call if you need us.
Okay. And how many calls might you answer, on a day like today?
Throughout my day, I could service about 10 calls a day. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's not unlikely that you might have to wait a minute, but I know you've got extra trucks out.
We do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, so 60 trucks out on the road today.
Yes.
Right. So I love the advice that we were hearing about. Certainly go to the gas station because you can at least check the air in your tires. Should everybody do that and gas up?
Yeah, definitely gas up. Try to stay warm. Layer up. If you could take some blankets, hold them in the car. Maybe a portable jump pack, that helps too. But give us a call. We'll be happy to help.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. I know you have a full day ahead, so we really appreciate it.
Yes.
We've let you linger in a warm garage for just a few more moments. The tip that we were talking about earlier that I found really helpful too is make sure your cell phone is charged, because if you're on the side of the road, you don't want that battery to die. That would be disaster. Yeah. Back to you guys in the studio.
Great advice. I always keep one of those charging cords that I can plug in my car, the USB port,
right.
Just in case.
Got to do it, but if the battery's dead.
Oh, you're right. You're
yeah.
right. We do have some really sad breaking news to bring you right now. Local woman has died from cold exposure. The medical examiner's office says 81-year-old Mary Savitsky died on Monday when the high temperature was 7 degrees. She was found in her home in Evergreen Park. This is the 8th cold weather-related death in Cook County. And during the stretch of even colder weather, ComEd says it is ready to help with any power outages. To keep your home warm, they recommend clearing the areas around your vents and sealing any cracks around windows or doors. They also recommend lowering your thermostat just a little to help keep your overall bill down. Now, if there is a power outage in your area, and we put all this information on your screen, so grab a pen, pick up your phone, jot down what I'm about to say. If there's a power outage, you can text OUT to 26633, or you can call 1-800-EDISON-1. You can also report it on their website.
All right, local train lines are reducing service because of this cold. Mentioned this a short time ago. South Shore and Metra, they're both running on an alternate schedule, kind of similar to the weekend service. So that will mean fewer trains and a slower commute. The UP Northwest line, the inbound side is actually running 15 to 20 minutes behind, even though they are on that reduced schedule. Metra tells us they haven't had to actually take this kind of action since the polar vortex back in 2019. A lot of operational issues when it gets this cold with those switchers. They freeze. All right, dozens of school districts, meantime, have called classes, canceled them before the day even began today.
And some made that decision just this morning. You can check them all in the scroll right there at the bottom of your screen. We put that together for you. You can also go to our website, fox32chicago.com. We've got them all listed there as well, if you've not been notified yet by your school. But not just schools. The Museum of Contemporary Art, the Shedd Aquarium, Adler Planetarium, and Field Museum all closed for the cold. And even the annual polar bear plunge that was set to take place tomorrow in Chicago has been called off.
All right, some breaking news to get to now. Chicago police are investigating a stabbing on the CTA Green Line. Feels like we're reporting these every week of late. This one happened near Central Station around 2:30 a.m. The victim told officers that a stranger approached him, told him to hand his things over. Then a scuffle broke out and the man slashed the victim on the arm. That man is hurt but will survive. Police are still searching for the attacker.
Police have arrested 5 people in connection to the shooting of an Indiana judge and his wife. Lafayette police say 3 men and 2 women are now facing charges. They have not said how they're connected or what the motive was. Judge Steve Meyer and his wife were shot in their home in Lafayette last Sunday. They are recovering. And new this morning, Joliet police have arrested a 15-year-old for allegedly shooting another 15-year-old in the face. Happened around 1:30 a.m. on Thursday in the parking lot of Riverwalk Homes. Officers say the victim was hit in the mouth. He is seriously injured, but he will survive. The suspect was arrested, now facing multiple charges. Again, the suspect is 15 years old. Police later discovered the gun that was used had been stolen. And there's new tension this morning in international news between the U.S. and one of its closest allies. Yeah,
President Trump evidently not a big fan of the Canadian Prime Minister's speech at the WEF there. Brian Jackson joins us now with how this may affect the president's new board, which is aimed at solving global conflicts. Brian?
Yeah, this all follows the rollout of this in Switzerland on Thursday. President Donald Trump is trying to keep the momentum going around his new Board of Peace. The organization was founded to oversee a peace deal between Israel and Hamas. More than 24 countries have already joined, including Bulgaria, Hungary, and Pakistan. Other nations like France, Norway, and Sweden have not signed on.
Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do, and we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations.
But this morning, President Trump says that Canada is no longer welcome on the board. It comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney, in a speech at the World Economic Forum, urged for leaders to resist what he calls Trump's American First doctrine. Carney received an invitation to the board last week and apparently was planning to accept it. He has since distanced himself from that offer after it was revealed that Trump plans to charge more than $1 billion per seat. Natalie?
Thank you, Brian. It is official. The TikTok deal is done. The company says it has closed a deal to spin off parts of its business to a U.S. entity with majority American ownership and oversight. So that means Oracle and other U.S. investors will take control while China-based ByteDance keeps a minority stake. The deal prevents a ban in the U.S. that would have affected millions of users.
Lawmakers in Indiana, they are one step closer to luring the Chicago Bears over state lines, or at least trying to. On Thursday, a Senate committee passed a bill that would set up a Northwest Indiana Stadium Commission. And they would finance and build a new stadium for the Bears. The Wolf Lake site in Hammond, reportedly the front runner. Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott says the site has several advantages.
If I live in the Loop right now and I have the option of going to Hammond to see the show at Wolf Lake or going to Arlington Heights, I think it's much closer, much more convenient to get here in Northwest Indiana than it is to Arlington Heights. And you get all the advantages business-wise of being in Indiana.
The bill now heads to the Senate for a full vote. Lawmakers in Illinois have yet to act on any measure of their own.
All right, let's check the weather forecast. That's what everybody's talking about today. It is so unbelievably cold out there. I'm wondering, are we going to hit any records, Mike Kaplan? No. Okay.
Not anywhere near records, but still cold enough out there. I've been looking at some of the new computer models. They still advertise snow here, but perhaps a little bit less over the weekend. We'll keep you posted on that. But the cold, oh boy, this is as cold as we've been in more than a year. 9 below at O'Hare. The wind has died back a little bit at O'Hare. It's only 11 miles per hour. Look at that wind chill, 28 below zero. Here's the other thing I'm going to point out. That dew point, this is kind of an absolute measure of moisture in the air. This is exceptionally low. If you take that air, it comes into your house, and you heat it up to 70 degrees, let's say, that creates an exceptionally dry air. So if you can get a humidifier, something that it'll make it feel more comfortable. Otherwise, everything's going to be super dry in the house. You walk around, you'll scuff across something, touch, get a spark. If you brush your hair, it's going to be standing on end. So humidification will make you more comfortable indoors, which is where I think most of us are going to try and spend as much time as possible over the next couple of days. Look at these wind chills. 30 below zero at Midway, or worse, Aurora, Woodstock, DeKalb, Rockford at 36 below zero. 27 below is what it feels like right now at Gary. Our high officially was 5. That's what's going in the books as today's high. We'll be lucky to get it back to 0 this afternoon. There are a couple of flurries and snow showers in Indiana and southern Cook County right now. Those are going to fall apart. Wind chills all day long between 20 and 30 below zero. The extreme cold warning will expire at noon today. It will be replaced for 24 hours with a cold weather advisory. So these bitter wind chills last right on through tomorrow afternoon. I'll have the latest thinking on the snow coming in for the weekend in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Mike. It's not just us experiencing this extreme weather. We are tracking a massive winter storm that could make history after the break.
Touches of black.
The Chicago man charged in the murders of his ex-wife and her dentist husband in Ohio will be arraigned today. Michael David McKee is accused of killing Monique and Spencer Tepe in their home in Columbus back on December 30th. McKee was arrested in Rockford, where he's a surgeon.
House lawmakers have passed a spending package, bringing Congress one step closer to meeting the funding deadline that hits at the end of this month. The package throws out the deepest spending cuts proposed by President Trump, which would have affected the CDC and the National Institutes for Health. It also leaves out his request for an additional $840 million for ICE. And the legislation does have to pass the Senate and be signed by Trump in order to avoid a government shutdown next Friday. Meantime, education leaders in Columbia Heights, Minnesota are raising the alarm after 4 children, including a 5-year-old boy, were detained by ICE. Witnesses say Liam Ramos was taken into custody along with his dad in their driveway after they arrived home from preschool on Tuesday. Federal agents are accused of trying to use Liam as bait to get his mother, who was inside the home, to let them in. Meantime, Minnesota labor unions and progressive organizations are urging people to stay home from work, school, and stores today, not because of the weather, but to protest immigration enforcement.
This comes 2 weeks after an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good in Minneapolis. Good, accused by Homeland Security of attempting to ram one of those agents with her vehicle. This is the largest coordinated protest action in the state yet, and it includes a march in downtown Minneapolis, despite, as Anthony said, dangerously cold temperatures. And millions of Americans are preparing for a potential historic winter storm this weekend. Dozens of states have already issued emergencies. The storm is expected to bring crippling ice and snow across nearly 2,000 miles, and many grocery stores are already empty.
We don't know to the extent to which things are going to keep us in. So I got the essentials like water. I got a few canned foods and juices. Some oil to do some cooking.
I mean, really just need water and a way to stay warm. I think we're lucky to have an apartment. Some people are not so lucky.
The winter storm is expected to stretch from Arizona all the way northeast to Maine. That is a large target there. Mike Kaplan, what are we going to experience here locally over the next day or so?
Cold and some snow. The latest thinking on snowfall amounts has come down ever so slightly. I've been looking at both the European and the U.S. model, the GFS, and they've dialed back the numbers. Still a sticking snow here. I still like the idea of about 3 to 4 for much of the area. Less the farther north, the west you are, maybe a little bit more close to the lake. Now, there is a little bit of snow falling this morning. This is radar. We see a couple of kind of northwest to southeast oriented stripes of snow coming down. Looks like some of the heaviest of it is targeting northeast Porter and northwestern sections of LaPorte County. And this could be enough to create some slippery conditions. It does not take much when the temperature is about 0 here. That snow is just going to stick on any pavement, and salt is going to be absolutely no good whatsoever. Look at the temperatures. In northwest Indiana, you aren't as cold as your neighbors across the state line. It's 1 below at Valparaiso, 4 below at Gary. We've got -9 at O'Hare, Aurora. And look at these numbers across the northwest portions of our viewing area. 12 below at Waukegan, 13 below at Woodstock, and about the same through DeKalb, northern Kane, and out towards the Rockford area. Today, maybe getting back up to 0 this afternoon. The high happened at midnight. It was 5. We'll have wind chills between 20 and 30 below 0, as we are seeing right now across the whole area. These are the current wind chills. Feels like 30 below at Midway, for example. Ooh, here it is. Almost a 40 below wind chill currently in the Woodstock area. Absolutely incredible. Snow is coming. A little bit tomorrow. I think Sunday would be the day when mostly the snow will be coming down. About a 3 to 4 incher for most of the area with a high of 18. Could be some lake effect snow in Indiana on Monday. Every day in the 7-day, colder than normal by a lot. Anthony?
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Let's take a look at our travel times. The good news, if you get that car started, is traffic is running very smoothly, thinking there are less cars out there on the roadways because of all the school closures and folks just staying home, working from home perhaps on a Friday. So that's the good news. All the area expressways are in the green. The only thing to be aware of here in terms of traffic anomalies on the Metro, they are running a reduced schedule today because of operational issues caused by the cold. So in particular, if you do take the UP Northwest, inbound trains in some cases running 15 to 20 minutes behind. So be sure to check that Ventra app before you actually physically go outside and wait on that track out in the cold. Everything running smoothly, Natalie, on the CTA at last check.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Plenty more to come here on Good Day Chicago. It's a virus that the U.S. eliminated years ago, but it's making a comeback. We're going to tell you what health officials plan to do about it. Volunteers brave the cold to better understand homelessness in Chicago. We're going to show you their efforts. First, Amazon getting ready for big job cuts. We'll tell you how many are on the chopping block when we come back.
To start my day. Go start my day right.
Fox.
Welcome back. A local pastor and his congregation looking to rebuild after their church was destroyed in a fire.
It happened at True Light Temple of Praise in Ford Heights on Wednesday. The pastor says the nearly 60-year-old church was being renovated at the time. They had already spent tens of thousands of dollars to restore the building. So now they're asking the public for donations to help get them back on their feet.
I said it before, my heart is in my stomach, you know, to see that my building is not here, or I just can't go turn the key any time of the day to walk in to go clean up. I spend a lot of time in this church, you know, times when I wasn't even at home doing nothing, I was here, you know, so to not be able to do that is really hurtful. It's like, it's still unbelievable to me right now. Still unbelievable, and I'm looking at it.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. We do have information on how to donate on fox32chicago.com.
All right, Bally's is filing a request to extend its temporary gambling license in River North. They were supposed to open their permanent casino this fall, but that has been pushed back. Bally's has been operating temporarily at the former Medina Temple since September of 2023. This lease, as of now, expires in September. But now, State Rep Cam Buckner has filed a bill that would extend Bally's temporary license for another year at that building there, the Medina Temple. Alderman Brian Hopkins did not mince words at City Hall, though. He feels that this project was a mistake and now has questions about why this new delay is happening.
I don't have a lot of confidence that they will open on time, but they're saying now they think they can, and they're also saying they have additional capital that they're going to infuse, even though they're struggling elsewhere. Again, on behalf of Chicago, I have to hope that they're telling us the truth, but all indications are this company was absolutely the worst choice we could have made.
We have reached out to Bally's, and we've reached out to Representative Buckner and the Illinois Gaming Board for comment. We have yet to hear back. New this morning, Amazon is expected to lay off thousands of workers in the coming days. This is according to Business Insider. The company reportedly looking to cut nearly 16,000 jobs. This would mark Amazon's second major round of layoffs since October. Amazon employs at this point just under 40,000 people here in Illinois.
Wind chills right now, most of the area between 25 and 35 degrees below zero. Not going to get much better throughout the day and even tomorrow morning. And there is snow on the way for the weekend as well, at least from the confines indoors. Enjoy some sunshine today while you can. We'll be right back with the complete forecast and more of today's news right after this.
Welcome back to Good Day Chicago, just about 7:30 on this Friday morning.
Well, good morning. We appreciate you starting your Friday with us. It is a frigid one outside as we take a look at some of today's headlines.
This school year will be the last one for Kingsley Elementary in Evanston. District 65 voted to close it down because of money. The district says it needs to cut $11 million from the budget. Kingsley Elementary is a Title I school. It gets money for low-income students.
A Chicago man has been found not guilty of planning to hire someone to kill Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bavino. Prosecutors had claimed that Juan Espinoza Martinez was offering $10,000 via Snapchat for someone to kill Bavino. His attorneys say that he only had $20 to his name and that the message that he posted was not serious.
The end has come for Timeout Market. Today is its last day. It was in the Fulton Market Food Hall, but the owner says there wasn't enough foot traffic to keep it open and costs had gone up. The Timeout website will continue to operate. 7:30 now on the button, and when it's this cold, you really hope this isn't the day that your car decides to give you some trouble.
Yeah, Rosanna's been talking with AAA about ways to keep your car running in these minus a lot temperatures.
Well, hopefully they're not going to be putting up these lights for your car on the side of the road. We're at the AAA Fleet Garage, where they are prepared to go out and assist you, but we certainly hope they don't need to. Beth Mosier is with AAA, and she is here to tell us a little bit about how you can try to stay safe this morning, because there will be a lot of problems because of the cold, Beth.
Yeah, we're expecting a lot of calls, not just today, but through the weekend and even into Monday. We'll see a lot of dead batteries, unfortunately, people locked out of their cars, people needing gas, and then flat tires, too.
If you are on the side of the road, these signs are relatively new, and all of these trucks have them now.
Yes, they're one of the things that we have found that really alerts people that they need to slow down and move over if they see emergency crews on the side of the road. They have helped our tow truck drivers quite a bit to be able to get to members and get to them safely and do the job they need to do.
And if, hopefully you are not one of the people who needs assistance, but you do need to beware of those trucks. If you do need assistance, we're talking about the emergency kit, and Beth will tell us what makes the perfect emergency kit.
Yes, well, first and foremost, on a day like today, you want to have plenty of warm gear with you. So if you do get stranded, you have stuff to keep you warm. Also, a charged cell phone is going to be really important. We always tell people call for help, especially in this weather. We think there's a lot of value too in the AAA membership. It gives people peace of mind on a day like today. And then some ancillary items as well, like a reflector and jumper cables. But again, we're urging people, call for assistance, call for help. Don't try to do it yourself on the side of the road.
And if there's anything you check before you head out, it would be, I think you were saying, tires and gas.
And make sure that you have at least a quarter of a tank of gas in your car before you head out, so you can keep warm if you do get stranded.
Beth, thank you so much for talking to us. Interesting tidbit I learned today that AAA was founded in Chicago, right? In 1902. Yes. More than 100 years ago, they have been coming to your aid on the side of the road. That was a pretty good idea they had there. Yeah. Thank you, Beth. Back to you guys in the studio.
Much needed as well. And on days like today, you can get frostbite in just a matter of minutes. So you do need to look out for some of the symptoms. Your fingers, toes, ears, and your nose are the parts of your body that always freeze the quickest. And sometimes layers are just not enough. If you start to feel numb or your skin turns pale, make sure to get inside right away. Also drink plenty of water and stay away from alcohol. If you are getting out, let someone know where you're going and keep an emergency kit in your car. 35 states are looking at dangerous weather this weekend, and for a lot of places where that doesn't normally happen, grocery stores are bare. From Texas to the Carolinas, people decided to stock up and clear out the aisles, worried that they may be trapped for days. Crews are treating roads today in places like Atlanta, where there's a big threat of ice. Some parts of metro Atlanta could get up to an inch of ice, and that would be a disaster, since about a half an inch would take down trees and power lines. Crews said that they will prioritize streets near hospitals and then the interstates. But mostly, they're just telling people to stay home.
We're prepared, but do not mistake our preparedness as an invitation for you to be on the road. When we say get off the road, when the emergency management centers say get off the road, we really need compliance this time because of the ice that's coming.
Georgia says it did learn its lesson from 2014 when people were trapped for days on the roads in an ice storm. There's a lot more of the treatment mix this time around. And the University of Georgia has told all of their students to leave campus. It says residence halls will be open if they can't leave, but they do warn if there are power outages, students there may have to head to some temporary shelters. So doesn't really look like anybody around the country is going to be spared from these dangerous temperatures, Mike.
Yeah, this is a wide-ranging storm, as you've mentioned. Dozens of states being impacted either by the cold or the precipitation or some combination therein, including here. Look, we're not going to have an ice storm. We're not going to have a blizzard. We're not going to have a foot of snow to shovel, but we are dealing with extremely cold temperatures. We're going to be dealing with some snow over the weekend, and I think most of it will fall on Sunday. And just in from the Weather Service, they are monitoring the Kankakee River near Moments. There has been a river rise because of ice jams there, so we'll keep you posted on that. 9 below at O'Hare. This is the coldest temperature in more than a year. We have a northwest wind at 11. 28 below zero is the current wind chill. Cover everything up. If you're going to be outside, even just taking the dog out for a couple minutes, just bundle up. You're not going to freeze out there if you're only out for a couple of minutes, but it will be uncomfortable, and your skin is going to tell you time to go inside. It's 14 below. The temperature at Woodstock, 12 below at Waukegan, 4 below now at Gary. You've finally seen the sub-zero temperatures invading northwest Indiana, and now, compared with 7 a.m. yesterday, temperatures are a good 20 to 25 degrees colder, with the wind chills making it even worse. We're still looking at northwest winds at speeds, a lot of spots between 20 and 25 miles per hour. Midway, one of the stronger gusts. So the wind chill there is 30 below zero. Look at that number at Woodstock. Waiting to see if we see a 40 below zero wind chill. That is a rarity. We've been talking about this big storm. It's going to be crossing the country. Kind of has 2 phases to it, a couple separate low pressure systems. First of which, going to bring some snow into central and southern Illinois tonight, tomorrow. We're kind of on the very northern fringe of that. This is where the ice is going to be occurring, and that is obviously a bigger problem than the snow. Then the second piece of energy, that's the one that I believe will snow here on Sunday. At this point, I'm looking for maybe 3-4 inches tops across the area. Farther northwest you are, the less snow you're going to get from this. Let's look at some art, some lovely photos that came in from the Fox 32 weather app. Take a look at this one here from Jim Chester. That is a red-tailed hawk out there feeding on something in that snow cover. By the way, if you ever see a hawk on the ground and it has some prey with it, they will typically do a behavior called mantling, where they will more or less stoop over their prey, spread out the wings, and it is a deterrent for other predators to come and try and steal whatever they have caught. Good picture there, Jim. Next up, this is one of the popular spots. It's at St. Joseph Lighthouse. Absolutely. Anybody seen the movie Dr. Zhivago, where they go to the Dacha and what is it, Verinkio? That's what that looks like there. Steve Zazadny showing us just how icy that is. That looks like a painting there. Spectacular, Steve. I'd print that one up and hang it on the wall. Good stuff. And our final photo is not a photo, it's a video from George Tamalunas in Valparaiso. A little bit of sunshine there. You can see some of the cumulus clouds blowing by and some of the fountain grass waving in the wind on the snow-covered territory. You may get a little bit of lake effect snow in Valpo moving forward. Everything just starting to turn to ice. Freezing the river, freezing the lake, freezing your skin. Be careful out there today. We'll be right back with more of Good Day.
Your one-stop shop for fishing returns with the
Welcome back. Michigan is set to ban cell phones in schools. Governor Gretchen Whitmer says she will sign a bill on her desk to ban them. The Senate passed this measure yesterday. Phones would be banned during school instructional time, and local districts would then decide how the rules are enforced. And there are rules for how students could use their phones in the event of an emergency.
The drama began before former special counsel Jack Smith testified before the House. Former D.C. police officer Michael Fanone, in a black T-shirt, exchanged words with conservative activist Ivan Raiklin. Fanone was badly injured when he was beaten by rioters at the Capitol during the January 6th riots. In his testimony, Jack Smith said the criminal charges against President Trump were justified.
Rather than accept his defeat in the 2020 election, President Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results and prevent the lawful transfer of power. After leaving office in January of 21, President Trump illegally kept classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago social club and repeatedly tried to obstruct justice to conceal his continued retention of those documents.
Republicans on that committee yesterday trying to prove that those charges were politically motivated by Smith. Smith, though, said there was enough evidence against Trump from both investigations to indict him, but the cases were dropped when Trump won re-election. Video shows a car crashing into a pair of businesses. Look at that in Southern California. The car went through a wall shared by a coffee shop and a pharmacy in Long Beach. The car crashed with another vehicle outside and then went right into the building. Both drivers were hospitalized.
The U.S. is on the verge of losing its measles elimination status. Public health researchers are trying to see if an outbreak in Texas spread to neighboring states last year. Experts fear that this vaccine, preventable virus, has gained a foothold in the U.S. and may soon lose the achievement of having been eliminated. International health authorities plan to meet in April to determine the status here in the U.S. Before you get married, financial experts say you need to get all of your money issues out in the open. They say how couples emerge or merge their finances can set the tone for years to come. Experts say most couples won't talk about money until it is too late.
People do come into the marriage increasingly with their own money, and they may still set up a joint savings account for shared goals. But this can happen over time. It doesn't have to happen right after the wedding.
She recommends that couples open a joint checking account for household expenses and suggests that each person contribute based on their income rather than just splitting it down the middle 50-50.
7:44, here's a look at what's coming up on Good Day Chicago at 8 and 9. Keep it right here.
Everything.
7:47, welcome back, and we take a live look at the sunrise over the Arctic this morning. No,
Cue
it's
the
just
polar
Chicago.
bears, right?
Mike, before you get started, I want to tell the viewers about the little wager we have going. This angle right here, where the sun is coming up, Mike has predicted it would be Lincoln's birthday. February 12th. This is where we set the over-under, that the sun is going to rise directly above the dome of the Adler Planetarium, because it's gradually making its way northward in the sky, right?
Correct.
So February 12th is the over-under. I took the over.
I thought you took the sooner.
Sooner. Okay, so yeah, we'll go with the under. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There
and
we
I
go.
went, and I set the line.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And this is what, over a piece of toast? Someone's buying toast.
Anthony would get the burrito. I would get toast and some mini papas.
There we go.
Get the mini papas from Martine. All right, we have some sunshine out there. Yay! It's not doing anything to help with these temperatures. We have an extreme cold warning in effect for all the counties in blue until noon. This is where the wind chills 30 below zero or worse. In northwest Indiana, you got a cold weather advisory, and then all of Chicagoland, including northwest Indiana, will go over to a cold weather advisory until noon tomorrow. There is some lake effect snow that will continue today, especially northeastern Porter, LaPorte, Berrien County. If you're traveling in those areas, it's going to be nasty. It's so cold, very difficult to get anything to melt on the highways with these temperatures below zero. That lake effect tries to back a little bit closer to the Illinois shore, but doesn't quite get here tomorrow. The thinking is that tomorrow afternoon, there can be a little bit of snow sneaking in here, but the trend has been to kind of delay the arrival of snow to Saturday night and Sunday. And then on Sunday, more of kind of a glancing blow. The farther northwest you are, the less snow you're going to get, but I still think the majority of Chicagoland is in line to get about 3 inches of fluffy snow here on Sunday. Today, 5, it happened already. The rest of the day, most of the time we're going to be below zero. Maybe we hit zero this afternoon. A couple of flurries, especially in northwest Indiana. Wind chills all day long, 20 to 30 below zero. 8 below tonight, very cold. Wind chills 15 to 25 below zero. And then we have that snow, a few snow showers tomorrow, a steadier snow developing Sunday. Every single day here, way below normal, but the worst of the cold is going to be for about the next 6 hours or so.
Okay. All right. We'll be ready. Thanks for the heads up, Mike. Appreciate it. We're about 10 minutes till 8 a.m. on your Friday morning. You know how much childcare costs these days. There's a new study showing just how bad it has gotten.
This was shocking to me. Lending Tree says American families don't make enough money to afford childcare. People have to make $403,000 a year to pay for 2 kids to have child care. Lending Tree says if you have an infant and a 4-year-old, let's say, you'll pay more than $28,000 a year to care for them. The amount needed for child care is triple the average income for households in 20 states.
The TSA has released its annual report on things people have tried to bring through security. All right, always some interesting stuff on this list. This year's list includes knives, bullets hidden in tinfoil, a gun in a golf bag, bullets in a strawberry Nesquik box, and somebody tried to sneak in a pair of turtles in their pants and bra. So you better hope they weren't snapping turtles. Okay, there's the visual there. And replicas of explosives found in Boise, at the Boise airport there, replicas. They are not allowed on carry-ons or in checked bags, so.
Oh, God. I just told Anthony I'm watching the new Fox reboot of Fear Factor, and I think snapping turtles in your pants might be one of the challenges. All right, there was some eagle eyes in traffic in Minnesota. Bald eagle, look at that, was perched on top of a traffic pole near the camera on Interstate 35. And those feathers must be something because the wind chill was in the -30 range. That is such a beautiful bird.
So
Love
regal.
It. Yes.
So regal, man.
You know, a lot of times, Jake is often fishing for something. It could be big interviews with the stars, maybe compliments in the newsroom.
Yeah, he's in the right place today for fishing equipment. Okay, so we're going to focus on that option. He's live at the Fishing Expo in Schaumburg. What are you seeing out there, Jake? By the way, your hair looks great.
I'm seeing... I caught it. I caught it, guys. I caught the compliment I was fishing for. Well done. Well done. All right, guys, listen. I don't know if you've heard... It's cold outside. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, that's going to keep you warm. Trust me, it's warm inside the Schaumburg Convention Center, but also is giving you just a little bit of a dream of when temperatures are going to be warmer. Maybe you want to look forward to some of the things you're going to do this summer. Why not come on out to the Chicagoland Fishing Expo? It's happening out here at the Schaumburg Convention Center. This is day 2. It's running through Sunday. 100,000 square feet of just about everything you could dream of when it comes to fishing. You saw some reels, you saw some of the lures. Hey, look, they got some boats over here. Say hi, everybody. We got some boats over here all morning long. We're going to be taking you through this place. They've got boat yards. They've got casting ponds. They've got trout ponds. You could actually fish while you're here. Forget the frigid temperatures outside. Come inside, stay warm, and guess what? Tickets very affordable for adults. $15. Kids 6 to 11, $5. Kids under that get in free. And then on Sunday, kids 11 and under get in for free. You're going to want to go to chicagoland.sportshows.com for tickets. But guys, take a look at this. This is an actual, what do you call it? What are we going to call it, guys? Like a fishing simulator. So here's what's going to happen. Are we ready to go? Are we going to try it? All right, here we go. Let's try this thing. Let's see how this is. So this is actually what they do is they start it, they get it going, and then it kind of pulls on it to give you a feel for what it would be like. What am I catching? What is that?
That is a marlin.
All right, guys. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Come on. Are you kidding me? Look at the pole. Come on. Look.
Whoa.
This is no joke. You legit actually really do have to hold on to this thing.
Feats of strength
this is just
morning.
a little simulation. They said that they were joking earlier. They were like, oh, yeah, this is for the kids. I was like, listen, guys, I'm almost 40 years old. This is what I would be doing if I was here. So in addition to simulators, they got boats that you can test out. We're going to go actually to a trout pond. I'm going to be like actually fishing for trout in just a couple of minutes. So, guys, so much going on out here. Schaumburg Convention Center. It's day 2. Come on out. Stay warm. Dream of warmer times as I fish for real fish and fish for any compliments that you might want to give me about how great this live shot was.
You're strong, too. You're really a strong man.
I hope Jake brought his wetsuit. That's all I can say.
Hey, we can say thank you, Jake. We'll be checking back in.
I always wear it under my clothes.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
We'll be checking back in with him later, but we could just save the money chartering a boat down in Florida and just do that thing.
Right?
Right?
What a great indoor thing to do this weekend. Okay, he might pull something. Plenty more Good Day Chicago ahead. Keep it right here. Chicago Sky star Angel Reese has a new job. She's going to be part of the Netflix drama The Hunting Wives. Reese is playing Trainer Barbie. She's filming the second season right now. Netflix has not given it a release date yet.
All right, where does a deer drop off a buck? Well, at the bank, of course. Yeah, great riddle there. Long Island police say, ooh, look at that. They got a burglary call to a bank. Come to find out it was a deer that had broken through the window. And the deer, like a lot of people, did not enjoy its time inside the bank. Yeah, not a good fit. It destroyed some desks, destroyed some equipment. Police had to lasso that deer and lead it back outside. Good news is it did not seem to be hurt.
Good. PETA's got a new plan to put Puxatawny Phil on ice. PETA says Phil should be replaced with a 3D groundhog projection for the big Groundhog Day ceremony in Gobbler's Knob. It says Phil should retire to a sanctuary. PETA has tried for years to get Phil replaced, and it has always failed.
A lot of you are still using your parents as your personal storage unit, maybe that basement. While you ponder what you've left behind at their place, the survey finds what most people do. The old yearbooks and trophies are at the top of the list here. People say they don't have the space for them, but their parents do. And they don't want to throw away childhood memories, keepsakes. However, at some point, you will have to take it all back with you. My mom, in the last couple of years, handed me a big box. Anthony, here's your stuff.
Same. I'm
Not
like,
anymore?
how do you have
Worse.
no children at your house anymore? How do you not have room for this? But apparently they don't want to hold on to it. You can forget seeing Harry Styles in concert in Chicago because we are not on the list of cities he's playing. In fact, there's only one American city he'll be in, and that is New York City. He's going to play 30 dates at Madison Square Garden between August and the end of October.
All right, if you want to finally get good at math, grab some board games. Study from the University of Oregon finds 10-minute sessions of board games will make math skills better. Mostly for kids, but what do you have to lose other than the game itself? You know, you might lose to your kid.